I'm Susan Smith, and I have stayed Susan Smith now through various stages of my journey. I was born in Alexandria, Louisiana, but consider myself really a native Cincinnatian despite the place of my birth. My father was in the service. I was born during World War II, and they moved back here almost immediately, so I'm much more a Midwesterner than a Louisianan, although I have a little curiosity about my Louisiana roots that I may follow up on more sometime left in my seeking, my search. It's changed a lot. I had to really kind of, I haven't totally disregarded the Catholic faith, but I'm not active in the Catholic faith at this point in time. I don't know if I'm on sabbatical or, how this is going to go. As I get older, I think, how am I going to do the last round of, am I going to have a Catholic funeral and all of that? But that stuff aside, I had to really kind of deconstruct my whole notion of God in a less fear-based or compliance-based notion into, I realize that this can sound arrogant, but I have a partner-based belief at this point in time. So I feel like God is in partnership with me, I'm in partnership with God, and that it sort of goes that way. And, that there are things that I have to do, and then there's the part that God does. So, actually, you and I were discussing business just a little bit before we started this interview, and, I talked about my belief about my business. It's sort of like God's in charge of that. And I feel like I get the projects that I'm supposed to get, and I don't get, if it isn't the right project for me, it doesn't matter how hard I work toward it, or how many people I try to influence, or what strings I pull, or whatever. If I'm not supposed to hit the project, I'm not supposed to hit the project, and that I have an acceptance of that. And for some reason, and when I talk, I can see that there's no logic in this, but, and my new husband is big on logic. He's sort of a logic-driven person. But for somehow how it works for me is that every good thing that happens to me, I give God credit for. And when bad things happen to me, I say random bad things happen. And I've never had the experience of blaming God, for the bad things that happen to me. I say, sometimes this happens, or to me it was really awful that my father died so young, but I don't blame God for that. I say, I hope medicine gets better and that nobody who's 50, would go through that again and that kind of stuff, but I don't feel a blaming. And I don't feel picked out or picked on. And I consider that really a blessing. I don't know why I'm that way. People who do the Enneagram, for example, would say it's a function of me being a 7, and you're just going to see it that way anyway. I feel blessed to mostly, either to me, the cup is half full or the cup is overflowing, and if it's a halfway good day, my cup is overflowing. If it's a bad day, my cup's half full. And I don't feel like I determine that or create that. I think that bubbles up in me every day. Before I get up in the morning, that's already in place, so I don't have to do an attitude adjustment to get there. I think, blessed with being there. I sort of get there every day. Not that I don't have bad days, I have terrible days, but, it's not what I remember at the end of the day. It's not how I start the day saying, how am I gonna, I know people who do grievance collection, and they make their collection and they dust them off every day and they remember, each affront and whatever. And I have a bad memory for grudges. I've sort of given up on them because, I just can't remember the details of it. And if I don't know the details, I can't remember why you would want to do it. So, but the shift in me about God was sort of deconstructing my old beliefs about the hierarchy of it. Because I think I don't have enough core respect for authority to actually go along with them. My view of authority is like, how do I make them think that I'm going along with them? So I needed to have a different relationship with God. Like, God had to be somebody I wasn't trying to fool
What was
or
the,
outsmart.
what was
That
the
wouldn't
first
be.